Where you, hey? My name's Glenn Fairby, and I'm a 4th generation farmer on Burnetts Creek. I've got a 4,600 acre property here. I run it with my wife and myself, and we run 200 Devon breeder cattle, take progeny through to fats. About 2.5-year-old, they go into a feedlot situation, and then they're fed on barley sprouts and grain. Barley sprout gets their gut health working. They utilise the grain a lot better, put on between 40 and 50 kilos extra in an 80-day period. This is barley that I put in here yesterday afternoon, about 12 hours ago. It's just got little white tips starting to come on the seed. This lot here is put in 24 hours before that, and as you can see, there's the roots well and truly getting established. Then we go up here. This is another 24 hours older, and you got the sprout starting to come. The roots are a lot better, starting to thicken up. This is another 24 hours, and it's starting to get into a real mat, and that just growing. Then this is day 4, or about 4.5, and as you can see, it's well and truly getting into it and starting to get a bit of weight in it. Then we come up here to day 5.5, and it's pretty robust, very heavy, and that is about 150 kilos along that deck, and yeah, which I'll take out now and take up to some cattle. These steers have been on feed for the tops of them for about 80 days, and we take them down to the yard to pick 2 out. They go off about up to 300 kilos dressed weight, and to a butcher in Ipswich. It takes 2 bodies a week. Anything older than that goes direct to works, and we do this every week. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and hopefully I've given you a little bit of an insight into where your food comes from, and yeah, just thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Duncan Mcginnis, farm with my 2 brothers at Radford outside of Harrisville. We milk 500 cows on this farm, and 3rd generation, over 100 years we've been here. We milk twice a day. We've have usually 2 employees milking at any one time. They can milk 32 cows at any one stage there, so it takes about 3.5 to 4 hours to milk those 500 cows. So we have 15,000 litre capacity in the vat. The milk tanker comes every night and picks that milk up, and so that milk goes to Dairy Farmers Milk Cooperative, which in turn goes to now back in Australian-owned hands to Bega, have recently bought the old Dairy Farmers business, and that's processed into white milk at Crestmead on the southern side of Brisbane, and supplies mainly the southeast Queensland market for milk. We grow most of our feed depending on water availability. We have a lot of silage, from corn silage to barley silage to lucerne silage to sorghum, and that gets fed to different cows. And depending on their stage of lactation, or whether they are lactating at the time, or just for young calves, young heifers, and It's a combination of silage and grazing. You have to ensure that you have feed all year round, so silage plays an important role in ensuring that. Here we are, we've got corn silage. It's in the pit here. It's the idea is to keep it sealed off to the air. The silage or the corn chop goes into the pit here at approximately 70% moisture, and it can be fed out not that many weeks after it goes in there. It's a good source of feed for the cows. It's part of a base diet, and you can get big volumes, and we grow most of the silage ourselves. We do, depending on water availability, we do buy some in around the place. We rear all our own calves, our replacement stock, so we rear approximately 150 heifers a year, and they're fed on milk and for about 8 to 10 weeks, and then they're grain and hay to supplement any grass that they might be eating. So it's a matter of getting their growth out. They calve then at 2 years of age when they have their first calf, and the more we look after them, the more they'll look after us. So it's you have to look after your cows and try to get the best out of them. You need to be very conscious of keeping them healthy as much as possible, so they will produce as much as possible, and that helps us.
Hi, I'm Steve Moffat. I'm from Moffat Fresh Produce, and welcome to my family's farming operation right here nestled in the beautiful part of the Scenic Rim, southeast Queensland. We've been here in the Scenic Rim since 1924. We currently have the 5th generation coming into the business. Here we grow carrots, celery, pumpkin, onions and beetroot. It all comes back to our factory here in Terome. So part of the process here is we bring the carrots into the factory, we wash them, they get electronically graded or electronically sorted into different grades, so that's by length and by diameter, by splitting, broken carrots, whatever defect the carrot might have. But from here we'll process these carrots into the storage tanks where they get cooled. They come down to say 2 to 3 degrees from a field temperature of about 21 to 24 degrees. And after we've cooled them, we do a final inspection before they go into our retail packs, ready for distribution into a retail store. We supply basically up and down the whole of the eastern coast of Australia. We also export our produce into different areas such as Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Pacific Islands. We love what we do. We're so happy that we can be part of a family business in such a wonderful part of southeast Queensland here in the Scenic Rim. And thanks for coming to visit us here at Moffat Fresh Produce. I'm so glad that we could have you aboard to tour our business.
Hi, I'm Verena Joyce, and we run Karoomba Hay here in the Scenic Rim, just south of Boonah. We've been here for about 13 years and we've learned a lot about making hay in that time, and I'll run you through the process. So I think hay was traditionally made out of spare feed for people to use on their own farms, and you make the hay in the summer when the plant is healthy, and then you store it in the winter so that the quality doesn't decrease. So when we make our hay, we have lots of different types of hay. We have lucerne and we have cereal hays like barley and oats and wheat and millet. And then we also grow some other legumes like field pea and cowpea, which have lots of different uses. So we mow the hay and then we rake the hay. How many times we rake the hay depends on the weather, as does a lot of our work. And so in summer we might only have to rake it 2 or 3 times, and in winter we might have to rake it 7 or 8 times. When the hay is at the perfect moisture, which is usually late in the evening, usually again depends on the season, just after the sun goes down, we bale the hay, and what size bales we make depend on the quality and the type of hay. So lucerne often goes into small bales. A lot of our good quality Rhodes grass is in small bales, and then your more cattle forage type hay goes into either the big round bales or the big square bales. We bale at night because we get the moisture of the hay perfectly right. The ideal moisture is about 18 to 22%, and then we pick up all the hay using hay grabs or spears depending on the type of hay. We have lots of different markets. We have a lot of clients who feed horses, different types, performance horses, race horses usually use your lucerne hay. We also sell to local cattle farmers and also sometimes away areas when they are dry and we're not. And I also have a couple of niche markets. We have guinea pigs, and we also sell to camel and goat people. We try to use a biological approach to our farming. We try to encourage the biodiversity of our soil by putting crop back in when we can, by using nutrient, and by also minimising the amount of artificial fertilisers we put on the paddocks. So we mainly use compost or manure, and we use a little bit of lime and recycled gypsum as fertilisers. And in our general property management, we try to maintain a fair bit of biodiversity around the farm. So thanks for watching our tour of the farm. We are always happy to show people around, and while you're at the Boonah show, have a look at the Horticulture Section. The hay section in the horticulture area is hotly contested locally, and I've been told it's one of the biggest hay competitions in the region. It's always a bit of fun to have a talk to your neighbours who also grow hay and compete a little bit. So if you have any questions, you can always ask one of the locals and learn about your hay.
Hi, I'm Sally. Welcome to Veg Pro 4. So Veg Pro today predominantly produces value-added fresh-cut vegetable products for the eastern seaboard of Australia. Whilst you'll never see our products on the supermarket shelves, we certainly contribute heavily in that space with our vegetables appearing in a number of different products at supermarket level. So in this room, a number of functions are performed. We have a range of products that get produced here, primarily being potatoes, sweet potato, pumpkin and beetroot. On this line, obviously the products go through a number of peeling processes using either an abrasion type peeling or it's like a knife type peeler. The potato in this instance then goes through a chilling and sanitising process so that we can then send it out and know that that product is safe for human consumption. So here in the carrot room, this is our carrot peeling line. So basically the carrots come in. We source carrots from around Australia following the seasons. These carrots come in through the hopper and then go in up our conveyor belt and through another, what they call knife peeler. That product is then pops out the end. The machine then tops and tails that product, and it then goes into this bath that we've got here to chill and sanitise the product. So there are a number of different products that we can produce with carrot. This line was imported from the Netherlands in order to peel our onions. We believe it's one of the best machines you can have to produce this. So the onions go in via the bin tipper into an elevator, as you can see, and forks or tines pick up the onions. So this is what's called an 8-lane onion peeler. And as you can see, the girls on the belt will then be able to manipulate those onions so to make sure they're all oriented the right way. The onions then go through a process where a ram will come down, hold the onion down, top and tail the onion with knives, and then it will put a slit from top to bottom in the onion skin, and then the onion moves on, and the onion is then again held, spun, and a blast of air will actually blast the skin off the onion. So then, okay, you can see now on the belt we've got people trimming up the onions. We don't always have this many people on the belt. Sometimes we only might have 1 or 2 people on that belt. The onions then go and into our sanitisation chilling line so that all onions come out at 4 degrees or less core temperature. So thanks for visiting with me today here at Veg Pro 4. I hope it's made you think, guys, what actually happens when you're sitting in that restaurant. Maybe the chef isn't actually out in the kitchen cutting up all of that product, or when you're grabbing one of those meals for your dinner in the supermarket and it's got some veg in it, well, that may very well again have been sourced out of the scenic rim.